Well, hello. Welcome back to another stream. We are back with some more Citizen Sleeper. You remember where we're to in this right now? Okay, so I have the quest for Eugen right now. How much of the far Spindle do I have left to explore? A little bit up here. And then another section up here. Pinnacle Docks. So yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I last played this, as tends to happen. But, from what I remember, we have our rig refitted and ready to explore once again. A contract to go out into the black to find a hidden wreck. But I feel like I should burn off some of this glitch before I go out. I also have a rare component left. I should probably fix myself with that now while I'm here. There we go. Let's just finish exploring around Pinnacle Station and just see what else we can find around here. Explore the core. The far Spindle is up to its name, its tall stature making it a real effort to travel from end to end. The local solution to this problem are the transit tunnels, massive tubes bolted onto the outside of the spindle that allow for rapid passage from bottom to top. As you find yourself in one of these cavernous passages, bulky cargo haulers rushing by, start to wonder if braving them is worth the effort. Back up! The shout rattles down the bare transit corridor like a gunshot, and is rapidly followed by a crunching impact. You spin back, pushing yourself against the side of the wide cylindrical passage. As you do, a hauler glides past, sending a rippling wave of air across you in its wake. When the roar subsides, you hear a string of expletives coming from nearby. When the roar subsides, you hear a string of expletives coming from nearby. A spiky-looking figure clutching some oddly shaped open-frame object gestures wildly at the vehicle as it glides away. Dickhead! She spits an impressive glob of saliva down the tunnel, and it spirals in zero-G. She turns to you in her anger. You see that? Tried to slam into the wall. Total dickhead. She nods firmly. No shit. Haulers hate us. She sniffs and looks you up and down. Not supposed to be in the transit system without a vehicle. She squints. Not like I care, but maybe you do. What about you? She shakes the open frame in her hand. What does this look like to you? She rolls one of her shoulders, stretching it out. You're new here, right? Is it that obvious? She shrugs sympathetically. Nothing to be ashamed of. Let me give you a tip. She begins checking her open frame vehicle, tightening bolts and untangling pipes. Avoid the haulers. Dickheads, a lot of them. Especially the water haulers. Think they're better than everyone. Don't mess with the stevedores, though. They're good people. Get treated like shit by everyone else, just like us. She rapidly plugs and unplugs a series of connectors. I'll show you the shortcuts. She looks up. And never, ever get in the Spindlejack's way. She smiles, spinning the vehicle in her hand. Spindlejack? She thumps her chest. You're looking at one. She pauses, considering something. Then, suddenly, she reaches into one of her many pockets and pulls out a small, transparent rectangle, punched with holes. Text glints within it, reading, Cadet, Stripline Express. You take it. Cadet, she flexes proudly. That's me. Stripline's my outfit. Camel's a dispatcher. Small outfit, but we punch above our weight. Dispatch is here on the Spindle's core, but I run the transit tunnels up and down the Spindle 10 times a cycle. You need anything moving on the Spindle? Data, tech, messages too hot for the hardline? Come find me. I'll do that. She nods. Tell them I sent you, and they'll make sure it gets to me. She kicks off the wall and mounts her bike, triggering a small burst of compressed air to keep herself steady in the transit passage. You hear a buzz of distorted speech from what you assume is her dispatcher. Cadet angles her head to her communicator and mutters back into it. Got a hop, Sleeper? She looks over at you, and something flickers in her eyes. An idea? or perhaps just a realization. You might be able to help me with something. Package that's been bothering me. She squints down the passage. Come to the office at strip line in a few cycles and I'll show you. Sure thing. We'll call it a favor on account of me saving you from being flattened by a holler. She winks. Now, you better get out of here before another holler tries to squish you. You step back as she twists the handlebars and a burst of air sends her flying down the transit corridor at an unsettling speed. You watch her go, slightly caught off guard by her final remarks. What would a courier need you for? You turn the idea over in your head as you find a way out of the transit corridor, back to the safety of the main concourse. Alright, that's that done. I'm doing earn a meal. I could do with some food, actually. I don't need it right now. We'll see. That's gonna take 2 days or 2 cycles before I can do any more with that plotline. But let's study the manifest and see what's on the go up in the pinnacle. The pinnacle docks are vast and filled with freight haulers and stevedores. This is not an easy place to wander. After studying the manifest, it all makes sense. Arrivals, departures, the flow of freight. You can identify the key docks just from their data. Been a long time digging through incoming and outgoing ships, so you can't understand any of the slang. With so much freight flying around, it seems safer to cozy up with the terminal and study the manifest to learn this place. Alright, I have 1 unit left. As you glide through the pinnacle docks, you hear shouting echoing down a corridor. You tentatively change direction, your eyes fixed ahead as the passage widens out into a large bay. Others rush past you, heading towards the commotion. Your eyes are drawn by the bay's vast viewing window, which is currently being spattered with glittering shards of ice. In front of it, a dock worker is shouting to anyone who will listen. Spacers, works of the far Spindle, we need your urgent assistance. The water carrier Springtide has suffered heavy damage in its transit from Wellspring. He takes a breath. All able hands need to help secure the cargo. Without this water, Far Spindle will struggle to support you. He looks desperately at the crowd. Please, any who are able to help, please make yourself known. Behind him, a corona of ice ejects from one of the tanks, drawing a pale halo around the ship. A handful of experienced-looking spacers push through the crowd toward the front, and dock workers start to direct them to nearby bridges. You watch the scene unfold, hesitant in the face of making someone else's problem your own. True. We are a sleeper. As far as I know, we have no need of water. We need food, because it's how we get energy. But we can also technically sunbathe and recover our energy that way. We don't need to eat. I have so many glitch dice. Alright. Let's see. What can we do to save this ship? Clear out the flow. The tech team from the Dock Authority are working to reroute the flow of Springtide's water, saving as much as possible from leaking out into space. We managed to get some of the tanks connected to the Far Spindle itself and start to pump the water out of its reservoirs. Let's use a glitch dice and see what happens. You struggle with the ornate systems of the ship, but the security countermeasures keep you from rerouting. Alright. I'll use my other 2 down in Nimbus to try and get my energy back. It's a pretty good chance, so that's technically a negative outcome, because I only got 1 energy. There we go. The 0G kitchen is chaotic at first, but soon you see the patterns and processes and do your best to follow them. Nemba is too busy to spend too much time with everyone in the kitchen, but does notice those who do good work. End the cycle. Something flickers in the back of your mind. You stop. You have to stop to blink it away. It is a tightness behind your left eye, an aching point that refuses to move. And then the voice begins, hissing through the background noise of the rig system, a new whine amongst the chorus of the life support and ventilation. Sleeper. The hiss brings Laine's sharp features to mind. I suppose you thought you had slipped my nets. Hexport jumps into your mind, an image of the station immolating in white light, but you are not conscious to witness it. You are distant. His voice hisses into the white noise, but you are not free of me yet. I'm coming, Sleeper. The hiss drops, and I will retake control of what is mine. The closer I come to you, the more you will feel it. Laine moves your finger to tap your forehead. In here. Until you cannot resist. A bright smile, pale eyes, a growing hiss that hurts. Then the hiss is gone. The rig suddenly quiet. The stinging tightness diffusing behind your eyes. But the fear remains. Sleeper, you good? Sarefin is there, floating by your berth. You were talking. Laine is coming. Sarefin looks alarmed. You feel him, right? He looks away. We can use that. Stay ahead of him. He squeezes your shoulder. We can do this. We're fast and smart. Keep moving and don't stay anywhere too long. We can find a way. He frowns. Somehow. You nod. You do not know how Laine is able to reach into your mind like this, how he is able to speak into you, but you want so desperately for it to stop. You must find out what he has done to you before it is too late. You must stay ahead of Laine at all costs. Sleeper! Get drifts from the shadows outside Bliss's bay, looking around nervously as she approaches. Seems like I'm going to need to call in that favor. Her face is pale and deathly serious. Are you okay? She doesn't seem to hear you, distracted by a group of spacers gliding noisily down the passage behind her. She waits until they pass. Someone hit stripline. No idea where Camel has gone. Bunch of goons tearing the place apart as we speak. She screws up her face in pain. Even tried to grab me. Those muscleheads are slow. Who would attack a courier? No idea. Shakes her head. These are typical rent-a-thugs. Could have been anyone with chits to burn. Remember that package I asked for your help with? The one that was bothering me? Remember you mentioning it? I reckon it's got something to do with it. The job was a bust, an express run all the way to the underhang. When I got there, no one home. She's whispering now, leaning closer. The place was smashed up, like someone got there first. Should have dumped the package and run, but I brought it back like a good girl. Stashed it in a safe spot at Stripline. Thought the Sender might come to recover it, and when they didn't, well, I got curious. Popped it open. She shakes her head. Stupid thing to do. Inside was a drive encrypted to hell and back. When I ran into you, well, I heard Sleepers are good with data, with tech, so I thought you might be able to take a look at it. She shrugs. Now Stripline's trash too. Here's the thing. She glances around. Back when I popped it open, I noticed the drive had a dispatch marker. Export. Could it be connected to export getting atomized? Yeah, that's where I'm at too. This thing was sent out from there just before it got cooked. She pauses. With the kind of attention I've been getting the past couple of cycles. She slips the hand terminal from her bag, taps a couple of times, and holds it up to you. Cadet stares out at you from the screen, straight-faced and pale. Beside her picture, you see in block capitals, Spindle Jack KD754, in breach of FAR Spindle codes B12 and F34. Reward for information leading to capture, considered dangerous. Dickheads blasted on the transit channels. Every Spindle Jack, hauler, and freight carrier is going to be watching for me. He pulls back the hand terminal, angrily, stuffing it away in her bag. Something's going on. Anyone who can help? She looks away. Spindle Jacks don't make friends easily, and now the couriers I do now are looking to turn me in for a payout. She snaps her head to the side, her eyes flashing with anger. Why do you think I'm here? It's time for that favor, Sleeper. She meets your eye. My connections are burned. Hell, my whole career is gone. I need to fight back. If I walk away, there's nothing to walk away to. She softens a little. I need your help. What can I do? I need you to get the drive. She takes a breath. They want it that much, then I can use it to buy my way out of this shit show. I tucked it away somewhere safe. My guess is they haven't got it yet. You just slip in, I'll give you the location, and pull the thing out. She folds her arms. Should be simple. None of this is simple. Just snatch it and go. Don't overthink it. Look, this thing turns out to be worth something, you'll get your due. All I want is my life back. The drive's in the workshop. There's a loose panel behind the airbag rack. She leans in. It's taped to the back of the fuse box inside. I've got to keep heading down Spindle, to the overhang, past the end of the transit tunnels. No one will rat me out there. She glances around. I'll come find you when it's done. I've still got some network access. I'll know when you go in. She winks, offering no further explanation. My bike's locked up nearby. I'm gonna hop. She pauses. Do me this favor, then we're clear. Stay safe, cadet. Doing my best, Sleeper. She gives you a mock salute. She slips back into the shadows, and a few moments later you hear the percussive pulse of an air bike accelerating away. You know at least what it's like to be on the run, to flee your life. And in that you feel an empathy, a connection with Cadet. But from every other angle, this thing looks like bad news. The kind a sensible person would steer well clear from. And perhaps you would steer well clear, wasn't for one detail that is stuck in your mind. The drive is from Hexport. Is all that enough to send you down to Stripline in search of that drive? Only time will tell. Laine is hunting you once again. His progress will be tracked by the hunt clock. As this is filled, he will catch up with you. It will increase once every cycle you spend in a hub. However, each time you travel, the hunt will reduce by 3. If you keep moving, you can stay one step ahead of Laine. Gotta do something, get some cryo. Any job opportunities I have unlocked here? Signal station. Could be good. Should probably deal with the spring tide first while I have the dice for it. I get upgrade points from doing this. And that arguably is better than just about anything. Upgrade points are very important. I'm losing energy, though. I'm not going to use a glitch dice on that. Go down to Nimbus, though. This is a safe option. I'll never lose anything from this. At least get an energy out of it, so it's a good use for glitch dice. But I have like a full bar of glitch. I need to burn off some of this before I go on any contracts, because this can really fuck me over. I'll use this 3 and see if that gets me any more energy. Yep, I'll take it. Full energy. Let's see about finishing saving this ship. There we go. You watch from the docking bay's viewing window as the crumpled, vast hull of the Springtide is finally welded shut by a score of bright torches flickering against its side. Everywhere I look, I see a crisis. The voice comes from beside you. You turn to see a man floating there, watching the repair work. You don't recognize him. I saw you out there, helping the crew. He turns to you with a serious look. The far spindle needs the water. You aren't wrong. He pauses, watching you carefully. I haven't seen you on the spindle before. What, if I may ask, is your business here? I'm running a crew. He nods. I see. Springtide is my ship. His face remains impassive. At least I am her captain. I do not own her. The Lotic Syndicate, my employer, was one to put her into service. Why didn't you say earlier? He arches his eyebrow again. I prefer to meet people as Malik first, and as a captain second. You have my thanks for assisting with the repairs. We were caught by some autonomous Conway munitions. He looks out at his ship. The Wellspring run is getting more dangerous every cycle. After Hexport, he pauses. Do not expect things to improve. You both quiet for a moment, the loss of the station still inspiring silence in anyone who mentions it. Tell me, Malik meets your eye. As a sleeper, do you feel you have advantages over others, or does your particular condition provide only weaknesses? There are many downsides to being a sleeper. He nods. Of course, but you are stronger, hardier, more capable than most humans. He gestures toward the springtide. Your work on my ship only evidences your abilities. You far outperformed even my own crew. He looks to you, angling his head in deference, in conditions that are usually deadly. Sadly, despite even your good work, our losses have been great, and the administration of the far Spindle are not happy. We are to be impounded here until the Lotic Syndicate fulfills the agreed water freight. He frowns at the crumpled-looking ship. This war continues to pressure the belt. So what will you do? Well, this is where you are needed, Sleeper. Malik folds his arms. My crew tells me you have a ship. You have workers. This is what I need. As we fled from the Conway attack, our navigator registered something of great interest. A water-rich asteroid, one I believe is previously unknown to the syndicates. He comes a little closer. But now I have sworn him to secrecy, as I must you. But if this asteroid could be surveyed, its value confirmed, it will more than make up for the shortfall of the springtide. He pauses, thoughtfully. Let him continue. I want you to survey the asteroid for me. It is a simple enough job, but its location, so close to the edge of the wash, is problematic. However, you have shown yourself to be very competent. If you are careful, there is no reason you should have problems with Conway, or any other hostile party for that matter. Hostile party? Malik shrugs. The wash is where the orbits of the inner system and Starward belt conspire to bring vessels, objects, and all kinds of wanderers together. It is a territory of opportunists. I will, of course, reimburse you with a portion of the fee the far Spindle administration are withholding from me. 250 cryo is my offer. How will your employer feel about that? The Lotic Syndicate only cares that its water is delivered and its fees paid. I am free to make sure this happens in a timely and efficient manner as I see fit. Malik passes you a thumbnail drive. Here are details on the tests I need you to run for the survey. A sample core of ice from deep within the asteroid should give you enough material to work with. Notice a member of the Springtide's crew waiting quietly at a distance, and Malik nods to them discreetly. This is a delicate matter, Sleeper. Survey the rock, and on your return, broadcast the results to my personal terminal. The frequency is in that data. He pauses, meeting your eye. The results go to me. Only to me. Then, once the matter is resolved, you will be paid. I am needed. He nods to the crew member. But I expect you have all you need. He pauses. I've enjoyed watching you work, Sleeper. Impress me again. And with that, he bows a little and drifts away to meet his crew member. After watching him go, you turn back to the Springtide, still impressive despite being scarred with curls of ice and shiny with fresh welds. You imagine any captain of a ship like that has been through a lot to get to where they are. That makes them a valuable ally, or a dangerous adversary, depending on where you are. You hope with Malik you can find your way to being the former. Second contract acquired. Okay. So I still have some dice. I should probably try and use them to make a little bit of cryo before we go out, because we're low on fuel, and more supply never hurts. Oh man, burn some energy. Oh, I still have one more of this to do. Alright, I'll do that tomorrow. I have enough cryo that I can fully stock my shit. Oh my god. The things we do to stay in business, but it must be done. Let's go to the rig. I can take a couple more cycles just chilling at Far Spindle. I'm trying to burn off as much of this glitch as I can, but weirdly enough, I'm only getting one glitch die at a time. Realistically, this is not how this should be working. When I have this much glitch, I should be getting like 2 or 3. But when I want it to happen, I'm getting nothing. I don't know, we'll just finish off this. I'm pretty sure this will give me the 2 points I need. It does indeed. Sleeper, Nemba wants to see ya. You nod to the other volunteers as you wipe off your hands and clip your cutlery to the magnetic rack. You drift out of the improvised canteen on your way to the kitchen in the back. It was a busy shift, and each shift seems busier than the last. That makes sense, of course. You've seen the steady flow of refugees arriving from the inner system, and most of them, with barely a chit to their name, end up in the underhang. As you cross into the kitchen, you can still hear the rumble of the refugees' conversations through the hatch. The other chef leads you past the rehydrators and the hand-built centrifugal oven to a small office unit at the back of the kitchen. They knock on the door for you and then glide away to finish their own meal, leaving you to wait by it. You look around the small but carefully arranged kitchen as you wait, your shifts here having left you familiar with a mix of improvised and salvaged equipment, some of which you had never seen before you came here. Come in, Sleeper. Nemba is perched at a desk uplit by a small transparent terminal screen, reading glasses perched on the end of his nose. You've seen Nemba before, but not as much as you'd imagine you would while working at a place called Nemba's Kitchen. Even though there isn't a proper sign out front, everyone in the underhang knows its name. The man himself is more of a mystery. Apart from the occasional barked order in the busy kitchen, he is little more than a blur to you. Why do you work here? He barely looks up from his terminal screen, the scrolling text reflected in his lenses. I want to help. Uh-huh. Nemba stops scrolling the screen and looks over his glasses at you. You do well here, Sleeper. You're fast. Precise. You're doing good work. He goes back to scrolling. Well, thank you. Nemba lifts a hand in response. That's my worry, Sleeper. Good workers like you, they move on fast. He leans back and looks at you. 10 cycles. Maybe more, maybe less. And then they're gone. And the team? The team gets used to having them here. Gets used to working at that pace. Then suddenly they have to work differently. They have to pick up the slack, change jobs, change stations, and a few of them think, well, maybe it's time I moved on too. So what I've found is good workers are trouble, especially those who come and go like you. He pauses, watching you. This place, it runs on consistency, Sleeper. Those that turn up every cycle, good or bad, they get the people fed. He takes off his reading glasses, inspecting them for smudges. Let's be honest, that ain't you. So let's cut to it. I can't use you in the kitchen anymore. You're done. He shrugs. Sorry. But this place also runs on all those machines out there. On the suppliers I can rope in, the donations. Feeding refugees from the inner system is logistics as much as it is chefing. He shakes his head, which is why I'm cooped up in the back. So, maybe you're gone. I never see you again. Okay, thanks for coming. We'll soldier on without you. Maybe you still want to be useful. Maybe I heard you have a ship. He smiles at you. Yeah, maybe I heard you chatting. And maybe I have a little something held up in a place only a ship like yours can reach. I negotiated the purchase of some valuable inner system spores from a group that came from there. They somehow ended up at the depot in Greenbelt. Nemba sighs. So if you head to Greenbelt and you find the delivery and you bring it back, well, Nemba looks at you pointedly. That would be helping. That would be the kind of helping a good worker, even an inconsistent worker, might be able to offer me. Nemba squints at you. Seems like the kind of thing that someone genuine, someone who wants to help for real might do, don't you think? He doesn't wait for your reply. It also seems like the kind of thing that might sit on a list of priorities for so long it disappears and never gets done. I've seen that happen too. Guess we'll find out which it is. He deftly placed his reading glasses back on his face and continues to scroll the screen on his terminal. You know the way out, Sleeper. You turn in the doorway, slightly taken aback, and it slides shut behind you. You glide out through the kitchen, through the improvised canteen and the people eating and chatting there, and into the cold underhang passageway beyond. All the time considering what you might do next, and recalling that persuasive glint in Nemba's eyes. New quest. I'm gonna finish this one. Yeah, I'll bank on a 50-50. There we go. You feel like you have a good sense of the key locations of the Pinnacle docks. They're vast and filled with freight haulers and stevedores. Not an easy place to wander. Oh yeah, the gambling bar. Only vouch for members can gamble on the venture, but bar shifts are easy to come by, most because they pay in tips and little more. Do I really care about gambling? Not really. There's enough gambling as is with the dice system in this game. I gotta make up a little bit of cryo, because I'm pretty sure I can't use Nemba's kitchen anymore. So like any energy now I have to buy in terms of I have to buy my own food. We'll give it one more cycle and we'll just see what the dice give us. Hopefully get a couple of glitch dice just to burn off some more of that. Sleeper! Sarefin catches your attention as you go to leave the ship. Can I have a minute? Of course. Sarefin ducks into a maintenance passage and waits for you to follow. In the narrow passage, framed by loose wires and thick conduits, Sarefin looks suddenly small, trapped. He looks at an open circuitry panel as he speaks, avoiding your gaze. You see he is playing with a coin in his hand, nervously spinning it in the air. Since we cleared Hexport, I've been putting feelers out for something. He rubs his hands nervously. I've been in the build for a long time, and I came here alone. But back on Dockside, just before we made a break for it, I heard something. I heard someone was looking for me. He pauses, trying to organize his thoughts. Isn't one bounty enough? Sarefin smiles. I don't think this is a bounty. I also heard something else. They said the person looking for me claimed to be my sister. He waits for your reaction. You have a sister? I did, yeah. Or I do. He shakes his head. But I don't even know if it's really her. Just because someone says they're my sister, well, I can't be sure. Thing is, I haven't seen my sister in a long time. I was still a kid when I left. So was she, though I don't think she would have liked to admit it at the time. He smiles to himself. I know you don't remember how it was, back in Dockside, I mean. He sighs. We were alone, you and me. Laine didn't let us out much, just to work, and that was all. So, when I overheard one of his guys mention someone was sniffing around trying to find me, I didn't know what to think. He frowns. And then, hearing it could have been my sister, he goes quiet. You try to recall a time the cycle spent under Laine's influence, working for him in exchange for stabilizer. You close your eyes, focus, but the details flicker. The images collapse and reform. Has Sarefin told you this before? Was this all part of your plan? You wanted to go find her. Yeah, he shrugs. Changed things for me. Thought she could be out there. Don't get me wrong. I wanted to get you out of there too. He pauses. You sense he is finding this difficult. I know it doesn't matter now, but I told you about her before, back then. I'm sorry, I don't remember. It's okay, Sleeper. I understand. Since we got away, since Hexport, I've been asking around, speaking to peices, traders, and like I said, something's finally come up. Seems whoever was trailing me left Dockside pretty soon after Utsubo caught wind of her sniffing around. I doubt they made her feel very welcome, but I managed to get a name. The name she gave, Luz, wasn't my sister's. But that don't mean much. Gave me something to follow. She bounced around the wash a little. Fought Spindle, Flotsam, not sure why. He squints at a loose wire. Last thing she did was book passage to Wellspring. On a load of freighter. That's it. How do you know this? Mostly ship manifests and port records. A few favors on the quiet. I want to go to Wellspring, Sleeper. To know if it's really her. And if it isn't, to settle what needs settling. Let's do it. Thank you, Sleeper. He meets your eye. I'll admit, it has been strange. Reminding myself that everything we talked about back on Darkside, everything we did, is lost now. He smiles, but I'm glad to see you're still you. Whatever that means. I'm not sure I know who I am. Me neither. He smiles. Anyway, better get back to it. Sarefin squeezes past you in the corridor and glides back toward the engine room. You watch him go, wondering if your past together can ever be reclaimed. Your mind wanders to thoughts of Serafin's sister. For a moment, you wonder what it's like to have a family, and if you will ever know. Alright. So, with what we got here, I'd say I really wish I had burnt off more glitch, but we can't do a whole lot about that. Let's see what I can do to make some cryo down here. It'd probably be good to get a bit of engineer. The engineer I find is fairly common in this game. Since last time I played this on stream, I have almost 100% of this game on my own time. I do find it very fun. So I played it the first time on stream, and I was just like, I'm just gonna keep playing this. So I did a couple of machinist runs. The current one is we are an operator, so the skill variance is different. Which I realized that the fact that operators don't get endure, like that's a skill we cannot level up. That is that's gonna bite us a little bit down the road, but for now we're fine. Just gonna have to make sure I find crewmates that have endure and pretty much always have them with me, because it's a very common skill check. But we are an operator, which means we're very good at hacking, so we have other things we're good at. Might as well make use of that. You find a syntax the arrays respond to, making it faster and easier to gather signals. The crew is impressed. Yeah, it's an honest day's work for a sleeper. Gotta make it happen. I lost energy on that one, but we have enough cryo. We can definitely grab a drink at the Gaia before we head out. Wait, what am I doing? I don't need to buy it. I'm going out on a contract. Alright, so we're going to do the Ice Rich Asteroid first. We're going to take Bliss, our ship engineer, and Eugen. You're not part of our crew yet, but I'd like to have you on board. Confirm.